What's up, music lovers? I'm Josh from audiophile-heaven, and today we are having a look at Shanling M3X. This is a DAP or digital audio player. It is priced at $340, a very good price, and it has a ton of features. So let's get down with the unboxing. Now it comes in a pretty blue package. It is blue. It comes like this. This is the DAP. Very good aspect. It comes with a few accessories and few extras inside the package. You can find a charging cable. This is the cable, the criminal of today's crime. We also have some extra screen protectors, some manuals, your usual stuff, and the DAP, the usual stuff. This is one of my favorite DAPs, I'll be honest with you. I'm so funny today because I like the DAP. I like the Shanling M3X a lot. And the DAP starts very quickly. Not quite as quickly. Right now I just had it turned on because I was listening to it. On and off functions take very little with the Shanling M3X. Shanling M3X comes with two screen protectors installed. Both of them seem to be glass. It comes with two extra screen protectors. I haven't even removed the screen protector. The screen protectors come with protectors on them to protect them from scratches. Especially for me, I think that they did this for me because I take things outside and photo them in the trees and in nature. I know that you love my B-rolls and I am forever grateful for that. It is really fun to do something unique once in a while, so I like my content. I like creating it. The Shanling M3X has two headphone outputs at the top, 3.5 and 4.4 balanced. At the bottom it has the micro SD slot and the USB Type-C port, which can be used for using it as a USB DAC. As you can see, the micro SD slot does not sit exactly flush with the bottom, but that is not an issue. It just creates a bit of stress for me. I have a bit of anxiety sometimes, and this makes me anxious because I feel like it would snap. One of the very few minor inconveniences I found for it. It has a volume wheel, very well protected. I would never be able to destroy this. The volume wheel can click. This is the power button. And it is actually smoother in the display and kind of quicker than most DAPs, and I have no idea why, but it seems to be a bit smoother. It doesn't really rock that hard of a hardware. It basically has a Snapdragon 440, and that is very mid-range to low-end right now. It is not a very good CPU, but it is very well optimized and it is very, very snappy. It works very well. The US is sleek, it is elegant, and it is a bit modern. I like the overall usability of it. You can pull on the top. It is your typical Android DAP, but it has Wi-Fi, it has Bluetooth, it can decode MQA, it can do LDAC, it can do aptX, it has both phone output and line out, it has high and low gain, it can use either one or two of its DACs, it has two ASS chips DACs. It has AirPlay, it has a Prime mode, which is basically a copy of iBaso's Mango mode, which basically lets you just play music and disables all of the other apps that would typically be enabled. You can use it as a USB DAC or for storage, so for transferring media files. You can take a screenshot. Now I have loaded 256 micro SD cards in it. It reads them instantly. You can play music instantly. Just go to folder browsing mode. The chip, the RAM, everything is just a bit mediocre, but it is very quick. The battery is quite large, 3200 milliamperes, which is quite low compared to most smartphones, but it has more battery than my smartphone. It can stay alive for about 15 hours of actual real-world usage. And I'm talking about my usage, so high gain, dual DAC mode, going on the single-ended connector. I prefer to use single-ended most of the time. It has enough power on single-ended to drive HiFiMan Sundara, HiFiMan Aria. I noticed a very slight hissing on the background when using the Shanling M3X with the Unique Melody Mest 2 and the Unique Melody 3D Terminator, so some kind of hissing is there. And the best part about it is getting it with the case. This is the most badass looking case I have ever seen. Like, how do you make this? This is so badass. This should come with very expensive flagships, but the companies that make very expensive flagships typically do not care a lot about the case. And you just snap it into the case and this is how it looks. I'm a big fan of the aesthetic. I actually like the case so much that this case I would keep it on the DAP. When it comes to playing music and to actually doing his job as a music player, because I have been talking about how much I like it technically, but as a music player, it is my favorite thus far in this price range, and I don't want to do this. I don't want to like it so much. Shanling is okay, but as a company, I actually don't have enough experience with their products to be able to say a lot about the company. But about the product, about the M3X, I'm able to tell you this. It rocks. It has so much driving power that you can't have a headphone that you would power with it and it wouldn't be enough for it. That is how I would think about it. So if you have a headphone that it can't power, you probably wouldn't power that headphone from it. You would use something else, and I'm pretty sure of that. If you are wondering about the sound, it is an aggressive type of sound. I have noticed a pretty forward mid-range, but with a good soundstage around it, very holographic type of presentation, good overall substance, very good bass, clean, deep, powerful, impactful. I love the bass. It is beautiful, just awesome bass, very explosive, very punchy, very dynamic type of bass. I have noticed a good amount of detail, excellent even. It is able to highlight very easily what the differences between MP3 and FLAC files are, so it is able to just offer that smidgen more detail of that FLAC has over the MP3. I noticed a very good representation of treble, so it is not smooth, it is not rolled off, it is detailed, but it keeps clarity, it keeps sparkle, it keeps air, it never rolls off. It is not very gentle in the mid-range. For example, I am coming from the Lotopo 6000, which I am using a lot with my computer because it is very convenient to have it on the desk. And the Lotopo 6000 is much more gentle, much more soft, while the Shanling M3X is a bit harder, a bit more impactful, a bit more dynamic, and a bit more punchy. It tends to prefer being punchy and being energetic over being smooth and relaxing. And there are choices out there. I actually prefer the sound of the M3X for rock and metal, but I do prefer the Lotopo 6000 for music that tends to be aggressive or poorly mastered. The M3X is not very forgiving on that note. In terms of pricing, it would be compared to iBasso DX160, and the iBasso DX160 has similar driving power to the Shanling M3X, but the iBasso DX160 is a bit warmer, a bit more natural, and a bit softer. It isn't quite as hard hitting as the Shanling M3X, and it has an edgy design if you use the case, but without the case you wouldn't suspect it is so edgy in sound. It totally beats the older FIO X series like X5 III, X5 the second generation, X5 the first. So if you are still rocking one of those old X5 FIOs, this is my recommendation to you. This is what I would upgrade one of those DAPs to. For example, I rocked the original FIO X5 for years, for eons even. I kept it for so long. And I loved it from the bottom of my heart. It was a love DAP for me. I loved that DAP. I loved its sound. I loved its overall presentation. It was a bit warm. It was a bit energetic. It used to have a slightly smoother treble. But all in all, I really liked the original FIO X5. And then I started upgrading, and then I started doing reviews, and then I kind of lost track what happened after that, because here we are. And at this point, this Shanling M3X is pretty much the upgrade I've been looking for from that FIO. It has Bluetooth and it has Wi-Fi, so it has a bit more versatility than iBasso DX160. It is very stable with the Wi-Fi. I did notice that slight amount of hissing with very sensitive EMs. It is there, and some EMs will reveal it, for example the Campfire Atlas, but Campfire Dorado 2020 and Campfire Vega 2020 shown no amount of background hissing and noise. So it will vary from EM to EM. It doesn't really have that high of an output impedance, so it is going to be okay for most practical purposes. That background hissing is like at about 10 decibels, and we typically listen between 50 and 60 and 70 and 80 decibels. It is very quiet compared to the music you are listening to. The balanced output sounds a bit better than the single-ended output. It also gets a bit louder, so if you need a bit of loudness, the balanced output is the thing to go for. But honestly, for all EMs I have used it with, for all headphones I've been using the M3X with, I don't really feel the need for balance. I would still use the balanced for the increased dynamics, increased detail, and increased overall clarity, but all in all I do prefer to keep single-ended cables on everything because it is much easier to switch things around, to test things, to play with things. It just makes my day easier as a reviewer. A lot new DACs, small DACs, portable DACs, a ton of stuff comes and it is single-headed only, and I dislike searching for cables while I'm doing the review. I want to have everything ready, just starting and typing. I'm a bit of a typist. The M3X is awesome. This is the type of DAP that I would easily recommend to you regardless who you are. If you have this money, $340 US, and if you need a high quality DAP, go for the Shanling M3X. There are questions like, would you rather go? No, go for Shanling M3X. I don't really have anything better to recommend in this price range right now. Right now, I have a ton of flagships, I have a ton of entry-level DAPs, but I have almost no mid-range DAP recommended to me. No company produced anything recently, and I have no idea why. The mid-range market is still very hot. This is where I have stayed for most of my youth. This is the kind of budget I would have had for a DAP. I am not sure why, but right now, if you have this price, if you have this money in your pocket and are wanting a high quality DAP, I noticed absolutely nothing wrong with the Shanling M3X. It has a beautiful battery life, beats even some of the flagships. It works as a USB DAC, no delays, no lags, no weird noises, perfect work. It has Bluetooth, if you fancy that. Don't purchase this if you are going to do Bluetooth, use your phone, man. Don't get a $340 US DAP for Bluetooth. It won't improve the quality. It really won't. Your phone will probably sound better because it has a larger Bluetooth chip usually. It has Wi-Fi, Tidal, MQA decoding. There you go, Shanling M3X. And it has a ton of driving power, a ton of body, a ton of impact, a ton of bolts, I would call it. It is a very ballsy type of sound, very authoritative, very good control over pretty much everything. It makes puppies out of the Unique Melody Mest 2. I have them on the desk, I'm listening a lot to them. The Shanling M3X, totally a yes. I can't really make a video of the GUI or graphical user interface because usually those videos were ignored. You can find those from other YouTubers that do a better job than me. But I like the user interface, I like the Mango mode, Shanling Mango mode, Prime mode in Shanling, but I will call it Mango mode. It is the same thing. It is FIO mode, Mango mode, Prime mode. It does the same thing. It is music mode. I would call it that way. If I made a DAP, I would call it music mode. And to make a DAP. How hard is it to make a DAP? I need to search that. I hope this video has been enjoyable to watch. I hope you are enjoying your time on audiophile-heaven. I hope that I'm providing the kind of content you are looking for. If I do, please like this video. It keeps my motivation going up. Please subscribe to audiophile-heaven so you can see more stuff and I can see that you're interested. Please have the loveliest 2x in there. I really hope that you have a lovely time. Regardless what you end up doing, just have a lovely time in there. And I hope we'll see each other really, really soon. Bye bye!